Anya, thank you for coming on the show. This is an unexpected treat.
It's an honor to be here, Jacob.
Thank you. I wanted to talk to you about Ukraine since you grew up near the border with Russia. Tell me about your family story.
Yeah, I grew up 30 miles from the Russian border. I grew up speaking Russian, which makes me one of the Ukrainians whom Vladimir Putin came to liberate. And here I am, ungrateful for the liberation. My family still lives there. Sometimes we go see them. In America, people often ask me, Anya, but there are people in Ukraine who wanted Russia to come. And I usually tell the story of my mom. So she grew up, she liked the Soviet Union. She had a good life there. And she was missing those times, you know.
So just to be clear, this was when the Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union.
When Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, right. And when the war started, my sister, she also lives there. They have family business. My sister called my mom and she said, Mom, the war started. What do we do? And my mom said, we all go to work. These are Russians. They're not going to kill civilians. And 2 hours later, they all were running away from my hometown with Russians shooting them in their backs. As they say, my mother is the last pro-Russian person in Ukraine, was the last pro-Russian person in Ukraine. There are no anymore.
Tell us, where exactly are they living, or were they living at that time?
It's a town, for security reason, I do not
say
it,
but
it's between Sumy and
right.
Kharkiv region, right in between, closer to the border with Russia.
And do you still have relatives living in that area?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, grandma.
None of them have left.
No, nobody left. No, everyone's still there. The war started in my hometown. Russians came. They brought tanks on the railway, offloaded them, and the first column of the equipment went through the city. And the second one, civilians stopped. When Russians started sending more troops, civilians stopped the city from being captured, and but it was under siege for 2 months.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, the city became the hero city of Ukraine for stopping the Russian troops from progressing further to Kyiv, because we are on the way to Kyiv.
How often do you go back to Ukraine?
I live in Ukraine. I live in Kyiv. Yeah.
And what are you doing in the United States now?
We are advocating for Christians. So our organization, Ukraine Freedom Project, and we made a movie. It's called A Faith Under Siege. Russia is doing the worst thing you can imagine to people in the occupation, and they persecute Christians, evangelical Christians, disproportionately there. So Putin destroyed 630 churches. They killed now more than 50 faith leaders. And this is a story which is not getting out. So we are talking about it. We made the movie, A Faith Under Siege, and we here to talk about the movie. It's getting released on Angel Studios today. We are very excited about it.
So you think it'll get wide distribution in the U.S. as well?
Yeah, we are working on it.
And what's the main message of the film?
The main message is that, what people in America don't know is that Ukraine is a Christian country. We are 81% Christians in Ukraine. The biggest denomination are Orthodox Christians. Second biggest are Catholics. Third biggest denomination are Baptist, and then we have a huge evangelical community. There is not a single Catholic priest left in the occupied Ukraine. As Putin says, they liquidated Catholic Church. There are no evangelical churches anymore. Their buildings were taken away. If you have a Bible study at your home, you can be tortured, you can be imprisoned. We know of a woman, Lena, who got 20 years in jail for having a 5-people Bible study at her home, which is kind of medieval.
This is because Putin wants to establish total control, right? And no independent religion, no civil society.
People who believe in God, they are very hard to control. Putin wants people to, like, because they don't know, they have only one leader, is Jesus Christ. And Putin wants, people don't want anyone whom he cannot control.
What is it like for you living in Kiev right now? Because that city has been targeted regularly by the Russians.
Yeah, we hear the sound. We don't see them because they are painted black, but we hear the sound of Iranian-made Shahed drones, which Putin sends to Kiev most of the nights. So during the during the air raids, it's like in bad movies. Explosions, it's noisy, people are in the basements. When the morning comes, people just dress up, put makeup on and go to work, have amazing food in great restaurants, continue working and waiting until the next raid.
How is morale in Ukraine?
People say we are tired, like people in Ukraine should be tired. It's a long war and it's a big war for such a small country as us. But the morale, like we were at the front line, like last week we were at the front lines and we were talking to the soldiers and we were asking them, like, are you ready to give up these pieces of land for peace because you're tired to fight? And they're like, no. There is, like, it's not about land, it's about people. Until we get our people back, like we will not stop fighting. Ukrainian government identified 19,500 children that were trafficked by Russia. Russians would say that they have 700,000 Ukrainian children on their territory. The truth is that somewhere in between, that's a lot of children. We want them back.
So you're living in Kiev. How often do you come to the United States?
We come every 1 or 2 months, quite frequently.
And do you feel you're meeting with a positive reception?
Because of our movie A Faith Under Siege, we talk, like we've been to 4 conservative conferences, we talk in churches, we talk to conservative Americans. And, people say like, oh, Republicans, they do not like Ukraine. Like, I do not see this. I just do not see this. We go, we talk to people, we tell them what is really happening. And even if they come to us with one piece of Russian propaganda that they heard somewhere in the conservative media, and they would tell me something like, isn't it Ukrainian government which persecutes Christian? And like, when I tell them the truth, when I tell them what is happening, I do not see pushback. Like I didn't see any negative comment. I didn't see anyone who would like tell me get out of here or anything like that. Everyone is supportive. Everyone is open to hear. They are listening to what we have to say. They take their own decisions afterwards. I just do not see what people say that we have, like, Republicans don't like Ukraine. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, the polling numbers suggest there is substantial support in the GOP for Ukraine, and I think it's changed in the House of Representatives as well. There was a period where it dipped, but I think it's come back. And President Trump is speaking in more positive terms about Zelensky and about Ukraine's prospects in the war. I think it is different, though, when you personally go, it occurs to me, that's different from seeing something on YouTube that's a piece of propaganda. When you have a person that visits you, then it's more difficult to deny that this is actually happening. So I think my assumption is that it helps to show up personally.
That's exactly right. Yes. In many places we've been to, like, I could be the first Ukrainian they ever met in person. So they can create their own opinion about us, that we are Christians like them. Yes, we speak. I speak with funny accent because I've never lived abroad. Like, I lived in Ukraine, but we are like people like them who believe in Jesus Christ and who experience the war and persecution, and our children are being stolen. So it makes a difference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob.